speaking of putting together a coherent sentence, I'm really impressed that you're still able to do it after this many, like, you know, interviews and all this biz. You don't seem like the kind of guy who's like, I can't wait to see everybody. I'm so excited by people. Like, you're so kind. You're incredibly kind and gracious, but you do not seem like the you know, the Guy Smiley type. So how are you still doing this?
I don't know. Should I be excited and talk like this all the time? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Fuck, dude.
Like you
Bro.
you could be the flex tape guy of bootleg toys, right?
You mean like if I called everybody bro?
Oh.
Dude, yeah.
So are you caffeinating? How are you?
Bootleg toys. Can we just start at the beginning? Can you just tell everyone who you are and what you do? And...
All right. Well, hey everybody. My name's Nick. I go by Uppercut Party Toys, making bootleg toys, as you would assume. In terms of what I do, are you talking about like my day job, or?
We'll get to that, but let's talk about like your art career.
Ah, gotcha. No, I'm happy to only talk about that, and I would put career. No, I like my job, but no, I would put my art career like can you, like, in quotes with an asterisk and in italics, and but yeah. So I started doing art stuff maybe just a few years ago. I accidentally stumbled upon I think it was before you had the DKE Toys Instagram. Sarah
on Instagram,
she would put stuff up prior to cons, and I must have just been looking at like this Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con hashtag or something like that, because I've gone most years since '92 with my pop, and I just happened to see these toys and was like, what the fuck are these? These are amazing. And I stopped by your booth at the con, and as anyone who's met you or has listened to you ever knows, found you incredibly kind and genial, and bought some toys. And I think later on, and then I started to do more research. I just dug into it more, you know, and found different artists, you know, like Scott Cherry, of course, Barbarian Rage, you know, all kinds of folks. And in fact, I should just look because I can, you know, or like, you know, Acquired Taste, amazing, you know, Retro Gimmick, all kinds of stuff. Got a Magoob Toys right there. I think you were talking to him earlier. Super dope guy. Got lots of Scott Cherry stuff here. Only one of these I've paid for. In fact, I believe it was Janky Toys' Grail. So this is the only no, I think I bought one or two other things.
He's having a heart attack over there.
This is the Krang colorway. I love this thing. But other than that, I've gotten so much free stuff from Scott just from being part of his Warriors Guild. He did not ask me to say that. He didn't at all. It's just anyway. But then I started kind of like painting some Christmas ornaments in Christmas colorways, and then I started to, you know, want to make these, because I think that making art is really just sort of like, at least for me, it's always sort of been a 3-component deal, and I think for a lot of folks it is. It's not necessarily equal parts, but it's like exorcism, like you're getting something out of you, right? Like whatever it is, and not even necessarily something that you want to articulate in particular, but whatever it is inside of you that you cannot articulate perhaps in words, you want to still express that somehow, even in the form of like a goofy, you know, this right here, my favorites from Retro Gimmick, web store. So good, right? This toy right here, as funny and silly as it is, it says something about this guy, right? It says something about Daniel. It's from him, and so something inside wants to come out, and also it's part exorcism, but it's also part possession, right? Like you want to own something, but in this sort of strangely I don't know, not spiritual way, but it's like, I want to make that. I want to have done that too, right? I don't want to just be a visual participant in this, art form. I want to own a piece of real estate in this medium or something. I don't know. And by that, I don't mean like get a lot of Instagram followers. I just mean to say like, I want to say I did this. And then the third part is like just pattern recognition, right? I mean, just everything that we kind of look at and absorb and kind of figure out, I think internally. I mean, there's certain, sorry, I'm rambling here, but when you're working on art, whether it is figuring out how to, create an oil painting, or working on sculpture for a bootleg action figure, or, designing shoes, you are, both intentionally and I think unintentionally and unconsciously kind of filing through all the different impressions that you might not be able to remember in that moment, but which you have internalized, and you recognize the patterns in those works of art, and you're figuring out how to apply those to what you do. So I really don't remember where I was going with this, but
it was kind of fascinating actually, because you said there were three parts. So the one part was a pattern. The last one was pattern recognition, and then
yes.
the first one was you said exercising like the stuff that's inside. What was number two?
Number two, for lack of a better term, possession. I think that's
to actually own a piece of real estate, right?
Yeah, like, because when you're a kid, like, or even as an adult, you do something, and like when you're learning art, you learn by imitating first, right?
Sure.
In fact, I went into the garage to get this. It's one of the first toys I ever sold through Mothership Gallery. My grail, Janky Toys, if you're listening, my grail that I'm sure I'll never get is the Han Solo Pop-Tart by Falcon Toys. That was one of the first bootleg toys I ever saw, not in person, it was long sold out. And it was just amazing. And so I did a little homage to that. This little Hansicle, I don't know if you can see it there, but this is one of the ones that didn't work out. I accidentally put in the Uppercut Party popsicle stick backwards, so it just went in the garage. But anyway, yeah. So those are the three things, I guess. And I just reached out to bootleggers and like Scott and Retro Gimmick and those guys, and they were all so incredibly kind and gracious with their advice. And I did a lot of YouTube research and stuff like that too. But it's the most welcoming community I've ever encountered. Sucklord notwithstanding. I'm just kidding. I've only met him once. He seems like a nice guy.
He's a little prickly, but
Sorry, my dog is growling at me. He's blind, and so he doesn't understand what this is right here. I'm sorry, buddy. Sorry, you were saying?
So the first toy that I ever got from you was at DCon that one year. I think it was the Masters of the Universe Cookie Monster.
I usually don't have this many of my things up, but I put some stuff up just to kind of decorate or whatever. I've done most of these and most of these not. Oh, another great free thing from Barbarian Rage Toys for being part of his Warriors Guild. Anyway, yes, it was Kooky, this guy right here.
Look what Ian just brought in.
Oh, shit!
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I kind of just lost my mind when I got this.
And you traded me. You said yes. You said, well, because I was just going to give it to you, and you said, well, do you want one of these? And so I picked this from Relentless Assault.
Oh yeah, that was a good trade.
Totally got me hooked. I've gotten all the ones in this series.
Oh man, you should see the one for Decon.
Yeah.
Oh, how many people are on the chat here? I'm gonna give a little sneak peek.
Nice.
Hope Seth doesn't mind. Oh, okay. No one do screen grabs right now.
That's so good. Oh man, that's brilliant.
The Washington Insider, and he comes with his little bag of money, the little bill. Okay.
Oh, mate, can I share the one that I'm doing for Decon? I just finished painting the prototype this morning.
Sure.
Or I guess call it artist proof or whatever. So just in time for election year. It's not actually, I'm just holding the bubble over the figure, but
this is for the Back to the Future
yes,
show.
Back to the Dystopia, Tannen 2016, Make Hill Valley Great Again. And the sculpt is, I don't know. Well, you know what? Fuck it. It's not, the bubble isn't attached. There you go.
Look at
If
that.
you can, oh, you know what? I'm sorry, hang on. The focus on this camera is manual. Give me 1 second.
Well, you're lucky because none of the other devices in this room are manual.
There you go. All right, so he's got his money, the middle finger of allegiance, I guess. I don't know.
So tell us, what is your day job?
My day job, this is also something that I only started a few years ago. Up until about 6 or 7 years ago, I was working. Hey, Falcor, what's up, buddy? Hey, it's not time for dinner yet. I was working at a comic book store and, started, sometime after 33 or something, I realized that I really needed a job that could, pay all of my bills, because I had for a long time tried to be a writer and I had published some stories, but selling a short story, you get paid less than minimum wage
right.
for all the time you put into it. So I just got a job in corporate America and ended up working my way to Yahoo. And there, I was just like scheduling interviews and recruiting and like doing background checks and stuff, administrative work. And I ended up just, well, now the job I do, we didn't actually have a job for that. I just sort of started doing it and then it became my job. I work in communications, but like making videos a lot of the time, like trying to make fairly boring concepts like why you should change your password more often or whatever. I make videos for those.
Internally for other Yahoo employees.
Oh, sorry. Yahoo was then bought by Verizon, who already had AOL and some other stuff like HuffPost and TechCrunch, and they squished us all together to Verizon Media now. So that's so I do that, and but I try to make it fun. I try to make it weird. And I like to think I've got I've earned their respect somehow or whatever. Like for example, I did this big 30-minute training in conjunction with our cybersecurity folks, the Paranoids, that everyone in the company had to take. And my buddy Laz and I, we wrote and directed it, and we got a lot of executives involved. And so like, it took some years to get there, but like now, so the CEO of this, fairly large company is there talking about how his evil twin had infiltrated the company, and we had like filmed him with like a handlebar mustache and whatnot, and that like he had escaped using their dreamvertising technology, which we obviously made up, to escape into the collective unconscious, or as we call it in the tech industry, the cloud. And so just getting executives to say just the weirdest shit and getting paid is a delight. I really like my job. But I get to weave in some weird stuff too. Like this shirt I wore, I designed this for the Paranoids. You can kind of see it there. For Cybersecurity Awareness Month, kind of a bootleg design, as it were. Anyway, that was a really long and potentially boring explanation of what I do. Sorry.
It's kind of fascinating because, I mean, in a way, like you said, you were trying to write, but now you are writing. You are creating, but now you found this other way of expressing yourself just kind of magically. And after, I don't know, a few years, kind of like everybody knows who you are already. So that's pretty cool.
Oh no, it's amazing. I mean, I love doing these toys. I would do more if I didn't also want to buy these toys, which I need my day job for. Like, so many of these. Another guy, if I can shout out, if I may, Acquired Taste. Like this is my very favorite bootleg toy, right here.
Yeah,
so great. Acquired Taste. He was super kind and gave me tips and whatnot when I was learning how to do this stuff. Although, do you ever really? I mean, not to get all philosophical and cliche, but I feel like there's no point at which a good bootleg artist is like, well, I know all there is to know about bootlegging now. The learning curve is flat for me.
Do you? But then, growing up, did you show any propensity for, drawing, painting, graphic design? Is that something that was part of your life?
I actually wanted to be a comic book artist. I wanted to go to the Joe Kubert School in New Jersey, but my high school college counselor said, "You're not applying to that comic book college." So I ended up.
It's like.
So I actually ended up getting a equally applicable degree to the real world, English. But yeah, so I liked to draw. I was actually never that great at it. But again, pattern recognition, right? I think that's really all. Pattern recognition and practice is the skill part of art, I think. I mean, there's other stuff that goes into it, but in terms of creating what you see in your head, that's all that is. So over the last few years, I've started, I went from only, like kit bashing and stuff like that to like the space workers uprising was my first like actual head sculpt and torso and stuff like that, like on a figure.
What?
Yes.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, and this Biff is my second. Much harder actually sculpting a human face, especially one that I wanted to look like an existing human.
This is the first thing you ever sculpted?
Well, the first one for an action figure. I sculpted two other things.
But you're not a trained sculptor. You've never gone to.
No. I have the you can see in better detail maybe the head here. Let me just adjust the focus.
I think you should be very proud of yourself.
Thanks, man. I don't know if you can. Oh, okay. I gotta clip my nails. Hang on. Oh, there it is.
That's insane.
So
because I mean, I'll tell you, you're not the first one to use, an Eastern European poster on an action figure. I have a lot in my collection of Russian, Hungarian. The Sucklord's done it. Like so many people have done it.
That is so awesome. I gotta do some research because that sounds brilliant.
I have a whole box of them. Oh, some of them are one-offs. Some are, I mean, I think Buzzard Guts has done them all. Other people might have even done this one, but this is the best one.
Oh, thanks, man.
Of all of them. I mean, it's like it's like if you were gonna turn this into a toy, if Hasbro wanted to make a line of 3 3/4 inch figures to represent these figures, like this is it. I mean, you captured this. Forgot the artist's name, but talked about it yesterday when I was going over, because I do believe that this actual piece of art, this pastel, is in the basement of the granddaughter of the artist somewhere in the UK.
Oh my God, that's incredible.
And they have no interest in selling it to me.
That's so neat though.
But I have reached out several times. There's two Russian artists and there's 3 Russian posters between the 2 artists, and no single publication attributes them properly, nor do they, because of the translation from Russian to English, nor do they spell the names the same. It's very I don't know. It's a difficult scenario. So
I love the story you told, by the way, about tracking down the artist who did that collage Star Wars poster. And by the way, thank you for to everyone at Toy Geeks for the kind words, and Scott guest hosting there. Or is Scott part of the deal now?
I wish Scott was part of the deal. Scott should be part of the deal.
What's the deal, Scott? Be part of the deal.
You're part of the deal.
But I think I actually talked over you, Duff. What were you about to say? We're probably at time. I don't want to take anyone else's time.
Who's next? We got here.
Tone Zone.
Tone Zone. All right, Tone Zone. Hang on.
Tone Zone. Yes, hold up. Tone Zone. Tone Zone's great. Hang on. I got a few things by Tone Zone. This is my favorite. Love this. So good.
So I don't know. What was he talking about? I was going to say something important, and then I forgot. I don't know. Must not have been that important.
Also, is Victor in the chat? Is that Victor's Vintage, or is that a different Victor?
No, that is.
Love your stuff too, Victor. You are awesome, man.
There's so many people in this chat. Panda Propaganda's in here, and Good For You's here. Geezer, Figure Fetish, Dollar Slice, Dead Greedy. They all came out for the upper.
Man, what's up, Dollar Slice?
They all came out for the uppercut.
Again, also Dead Greedy and Dollar Slice, two of like the kindest people that I have met in this community. Incredibly supportive. When I was, I mean, I still consider myself starting out. But yeah, you guys are so kind and so gracious. Just, it's ridiculous.
This is just a mutual admiration society.
Can I show you something?
I know what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I know what I was going to say about Toy Geeks. So what happened with Toy Geeks is I would go on Toy Geeks, and it would be like Ben and George, Gaspar, and Jack from Vinyl Pulse. And I would start showing these figures, and like the three of them, like Ben's always kind of positive, and he's like, "Hey, that's cool, that's cool." And then everyone else is like, "What is this? I don't understand." They wouldn't actually say that, but they'd be like, "Okay." And I was like, no, dude, this is like next level shit. Like, this is it. Like, this is it. And they just look at me funny. Like, what are you talking about? You're weird.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
So finally I like insisted that like Janky be on the show with me, so that I had like someone who had like some reference point to say something. And then the last time someone else backed out, I was like, let's get Scott Cherry on there too. So I could, you know, just kind of like stack the deck a little bit. But anyway, go on.
That's wonderful. Also,
Janky.
Earlier someone had asked, yes, these are Man or Monster, Luke and Darth Vader. Very politely stalked him for about a year until he was able to send those to me. But
so like, leave me. If I send these to you, will you leave me alone?
Well, no, I paid for them, but the poor guy, he had all this like life stuff going on and moving and all that, so it actually was about a year from payment to sending. But super nice guy, of course. But you know, it's funny that you say that about the different reactions to the toys. What I love about these is that like every time, no matter how many bootlegs you see, every time you see one, it has the potential to instantly put you into like just a parallel universe where that is a toy, right? Where that, I mean, it's obviously a toy here, but like where that was produced, and there are marketing executives who are just like, yes, absolutely. Victor Vintage's, inflatable sex doll style C-3PO. Let's make 100,000, you know? Or like I really like making fake VHS covers. And I want to eventually make these to like, sell, but like Goonies 2, escape the cube, like it's not a real thing, but I wish it was, right? Or like, Batman Rise of the Overfiend. who would not tune into that?
I think, Marvel Comics used to have that title called What If.
Yes.
In every month it was like, what if the thing got AIDS and died, or whatever. It was always like just like this weird thing that
it really did that every month. I remember it. It kind of wore down their fan base after a while.
The what?
It's about to be a Disney Plus series.
What if there's about to be a Disney Plus series?
Oh, I thought you were implying that The Thing Gets AIDS was about to be a Disney Plus series. I'm like,
no. I was just making a joke about.
Oh no, I know. I thought he was
making fun of people who have AIDS. I'm just saying, like every month it was like
think that
this ridiculous thing, and I think that's what all of this is, And then it's like gets kind of meta. It's like, what if Ron English made a stormtrooper, right? And then like, what if Ron English and the Hip Hop Trooper had a baby stormtrooper? And like, it's like. It keeps going down this path. Like, what if Dove was a cult leader?
I love that. That's so great. But yeah, there was one more thing I was going to say. Sorry, totally forgot it. But I should cede the floor to whoever is going. No, not whoever. It's Tone Zone. I should cede the floor to Tone Zone.
Whoever.
But thanks for having me on. It's been a real delight. Can I take an extra like 20 seconds to just preview some shit that I've got coming up? Oh
sure,
yes, go ahead.
I just want to plug this. Tell everybody that this is edition of 20. It's more than half sold out. This is based on the Russian Star Wars poster from 1991. It's a real poster. It's a real thing. It does exist, and he made his interpretation of the character as a 3 3/4 inch action figure, and it rules. It's
Thanks,
fantastic.
Thank you.
Look at that.
Yes, that has
All
the origin of the figure and the poster and all that. So yeah, just real quick. I work really slowly, just because day job and the depression makes small tasks seem insurmountable sometimes. But eventually, I want to do some of these. This is sort of an in progress sculpt, but I kind of like it. And a little gyro gear loose,
Wow.
He-Man guy. This is sort of a partly painted prototype, but eventually I want to do a Escape from the Death Star, Snake Plissken, Stormtrooper kind of dude.
Nice.
And last and probably least, because I've only met a few people who are like, yes, this movie's amazing, even though everybody knows what it is. I want to do a Tango and Cash 2-pack.
Yes, indeed.
Have the guys like, oh, actually, there's also this. This is a little prototype here, a Midsummer Star Wars thing.
Well, that was supposed to be for that was our
just the focus there.
Our delayed release.
Yes. But I do just want to say though, both to give credit to them, but also so it doesn't seem like I'm copying from them. I noticed that when Martian Toys did a Star Wars show, there was someone who also did some Midsummer Star Wars stuff, including a May Queen Leia, but I had already been working on this long enough that I was like, fuck that, I want to do it too. So just want to I don't want people to think that I took the idea, but I also want to put the spotlight on their work because it was really cool.
You know what? It's really hard to, own the mashup of two things that already exist, neither of which are yours. So
if by hard you mean legally impossible, then yes, you're correct.
All right, sir. On that note, I really appreciate the time. Congratulations on a great piece, and we will talk to you soon.
All right, sounds good. Take care, everybody. I'll be tuning in into the chat. See y'all.
Very good. Take care, dude.
You too.